Okay, good morning. Welcome to everyone. This is our week 2 review of the refresher bridge class. Last week we studied basic introductory bids, one club to one no trump, and what they mean, what the responses are, etc. And this week we focused on no trump itself, what the no trump bid means, what the responses are, what our goals are in bidding no trump. So that's what we're going to discuss today. First thing I want to take a look at is overall bidding, opening, and responding in one no trump. The first thing we need to think about is that when we are bidding, when we're opening at the one level, we've got somewhere between 13 and 21 points. And we're going to open one club, one diamond, one heart, one spade, or one no trump. And in those bids, we have priorities of what we'd like to open. And the first priority that we have, the first thing that we want to open, if we can do that, is to open one no trump. If we can't do that, we open one of a major. For that, we need to have, the only requirement is that we have 5 cards in a major suit and 13 to 21 points. If we don't have a no trump or a major suit bid, we open a minor suit, which is between 13 and 21 and no major suit. So that's the least restrictive. The most restrictive bid is the one we prefer, one no trump. One no trump is 15 to 17 points and a balanced hand. Now, a balanced hand is an important concept to think of because a balanced hand in this definition is one that has no more than one doubleton. So you've got cards in all the other suits and no more than one doubleton. No singleton, no void. You've got at least 3 cards in the other suits. The most equally you could divide the suits would be 4, 4, 3, 3. Is that right? No. 4, 3, 3, 3. 4, 3, 3, 3 is the most even division of the suits. Or you could have 4, 4, 3, 2. Now we have one doubleton. Or we could have 5, 3, 3, 2, still one doubleton. Those are the only 3 arrangements that we can have. Those are the only 3 distributions we can have to meet the definition of balanced hand. So you've got at least 3 cards in every suit, but one suit may just have 2 cards in it. And 15 to 17 points. Now, this is really important because when we bid one no trump, we are describing our hand exactly. 15 to 17, balanced hand. Once our partner knows what our bid is, what our hand is, when we can make a description of our hand in one bid, our partner knows everything else they need to know about the bidding sequence. And if you think about it, the entire bidding that we are doing is always focused on the 2 questions: how high do we belong and where do we belong? When you open one no trump, your partner can pretty much answer these 2 questions pretty closely, maybe with a couple of adjustments, but generally can answer both questions after you've bid one no trump. On the question of how high, they can add your points, which is about 16, to their points and know how high they belong. And then where can be answered pretty quickly by the responses that they give and the information that they get from you based on those responses. And the question is, do we have a magic fit 8 in a major suit? That's what we're looking for. And then we can decide, should we play in that suit or should we play in no trump? So once the one no trump bid has been made, as the opening bidder, the one no trump bidder, you can kind of sit back and relax because your partner becomes the captain of the ship. Your partner is the one who is now in charge because your partner is the one who's going to be able to answer the how, high, and where questions because you have limited your hand with that one no trump opening bid. That's why the one no trump opening bid is our priority. If we can make the bid, that's why we make the bid, because it is such a descriptive bid that it's easily able for your partner to go on from there. A couple of questions come up about this one no trump opening bid. One is that those of you that have played for a while, that learned to play back in the 60s and 70s, a lot of us did, the no trump range used to be 16 to 18. But over the years, it's changed to 15 to 17. The main reason it changed was to make it occur more regularly. 16 to 18 does not occur as frequently as 15 to 17 does. That's a more towards the middle bid. So 15 to 17, you get to use the one no trump bid more often. And that's the main reason that we changed from 16 to 18 to 15 to 17. The second thing about that opening bid is you'll notice that one of the options you have for bidding is to have 5 cards in a suit. One of the distributions is 5, 3, 3, 2. And so the question is, what if you have a 5-card major? Should you open one no trump? And there's a lot of discussion back and forth about that. In general, most people agree that yes, you do open one no trump, even if you have 5 hearts or 5 spades. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is that it's a little more preemptive. One no trump is higher up the bidding ladder. It cuts out more bids. They've got to bid at the 2 level if they want to bring anything in. So that's the first thing. The second thing is it exactly describes the hand, 15 to 17, and a balanced hand. And that is more important. That information is more important than knowing the 13 to 21, the wide range, with a 5-card major. So most people play that we do open a no trump with a 5-card major. That being said, I'll tell you, there's plenty of players around that really think that you should not open a no trump with a 5-card major. You should open 1 heart or 1 spade instead. If you play with one of those people, you'll either convince them to open one no trump, or you will not open one no trump with 1 heart or 1 spade. Either one of those positions is defensible, but in this class, we're going to open one no trump, even if we have a 5-card major suit, and most people play that way, although there's a good percentage that do want you not to open one no trump if you have a 5-card major. One other thing to think about is because of the fact that opening one no trump is our highest priority because it exactly describes your hand, there's actually other no trump bids that exist that are not one no trump, but they do describe a no trump style hand. For instance, if you open one of something and then one no trump, that's about 12 to 14 points. You couldn't open one no trump. You didn't have that much, but you've got a kind of a balanced hand. And in that case, you'll open one of something. Your partner will bid one of something, and you'll bid one no trump to round out the description of your hand as being uh, a limited hand, 12 to 14, and you don't have anything else to bid. It's basically balanced. Or you could open 20 with 20 or 21 points, you will open two no trump. Instead of one no trump, two no trump. It has the same meaning, balanced hand, no more than one doubleton. It's a higher range, 20 to 21 points. That's a two no trump opening. You may have noticed there's a little gap between 15 to 17 and 20 to 21. That is the 18 or 19 point hand. Some people call that the 1.5 no trump bid or the homeless no trump bid, because in this case, you bid one of something, then you jump to two no trump. So the bidding would be something like one diamond by me, one heart by my partner, two no trump by me, too strong for 15 to 17, too weak to open two no trump with 20 or 21. So I've got an 18 or 19 point no trump hand. So you see no trump at other places. Even beyond this, which we will be covering later in the class, in the fourth class, even beyond this, if you have 22 or more points and a no trump hand, you'll open two clubs. The strong bid doesn't have anything to do with clubs, just says 22 or more. We'll open two clubs. Our partner will bid something, and then we'll bid two no trump. So all of those are ways to show balanced hands. The one that comes up the most frequently, that we use the most frequently, of course, is the opening bid of one no trump, which is 15 to 17 points and a balanced hand. And that's what we'll be focusing on when we talk about our responses to one no trump. So let's talk about response levels to one no trump. This is the nice thing about opening one no trump. As the responder, we know immediately the how high up the bidding ladder we need to be. We answer one of our bidding questions, the how high question, right away, because if we have 0 to 7 points, we can just pass. If our partner has at the most 17, if we've got 7, we only have 24, that's not a game. So with 0 to 7, we know there is no game, and we usually pass. With 10 points or more, we know there is a game. With 10 points added to my partner's at least 15, we've got 25 points, and that is a game at 3 no trump, even 4 hearts or 4 spades. So with 10 points in the responding hand, we know we belong at game level. With 7 or less, we know we do not belong at game level. That's the beauty of that one no trump opening bid. You can make the decision as a responder about how high you need to go. If you are in between with 8 or 9 points, that's invitational. So that depends on partner's hand. If you have 8 or 9 and they just have 15, that's not a game. If you have 8 or 9 and they have 17, that is a game. If you have 8 or 9 and they have 16, right in the middle, you may have a game. And that's one of the few decisions that the no trump person gets to decide. And in that case, they would decide, are my 16 points more like 15, weaker, or more like 17, stronger? And you would look at things like, do you have a doubleton that has a queen in it? Well, that's not worth very much. I downgrade that hand a little bit. Do you have no doubleton? Might upgrade the hand a little bit. It's better to have a balanced hand. Do you have a doubleton, but it has no points in it so that all your points are in working suits? Upgrade that a little bit. You just kind of have to use your judgment to decide which way to go. And you can make arguments either way, and it doesn't come up very often. So we're not going to worry about it a lot, but that's one of the few decisions you make. If your partner invites you to game and you are at 16 points, 15, you pass, 17, you go to game. But with the 16, you got to decide which way to go. Now, we've talked about the fact that opening one no trump sets your hand, partner decides what to bid. So you would think the easiest thing to do is just decide to bid 2 or 3 no trump. That's what you would want to do. But the problem is, and those of you that are in the refresher class have played enough bridge to know that you can bid 3 no trump, which on paper you've got plenty of points to bid, and you can lose 5 or 6 tricks before you ever get to play to the hand. And that's because no trump is a little bit dangerous. If the opponents have a good suit and they lead the good suit or find the good suit, you don't have any control over that if you're short in a suit. So just as like we prefer to bid 1 no trump to open the bidding, we prefer very much to play in hearts or spades in the major suit, not the minor suits. We don't want to play in clubs or diamonds. But if we can find a fit in a major suit, that's what we prefer to do. So the rest of the bidding that we're going to talk about today for the responder is going to be the Stamen convention and Jacobi transfers, because both of these are ways to find fits in major suits over a no trump bid. And that's what we're looking for. If you don't have a major suit to discuss, you don't have at least 4 in a major suit, then you will just bid either pass, bid 2 no trump, or 3 no trump. So your partner's open 1 no trump. You don't have 4 cards in a major suit or more. You've got 3 or less in any major suit. Then you just bid with 0 to 7, you pass. 8 or 9, you bid 2 no trump. 10 or more, you bid 3 no trump. So that's what you do. We don't try to find fits in the minor suits unless you are really distributional and have a lot of points. And even in that case, I would rather play 3 no trump. If we have a good fit in clubs or diamonds and my partner's opened no trump so that he's got a kind of a balanced hand, I would have a good source of tricks at clubs or diamonds and only have to make 9 tricks to play 3 no trump. So I'd rather try that than try to bid 5 clubs or 5 diamonds where I can only lose 2 tricks. So we just kind of discount the fact that you could be bidding clubs or diamonds. Now, I will tell you that after you've played for a while, there are bids that you can use. There are a bunch of gadgets that you can use to transfer your partner into the minor suits or to find minor suit fits. But to me, really belonging in 5 clubs or 5 diamonds is rare. It's much more often you can play 3 no trump with a good diamond or club fit. You'd rather play no trump. It's easier. So in this class, we're not going to talk about the transfers that are available for minor suits, or there's also a stamen for minor suits. We're not going to talk about that in here. But since you guys are rising up in the bidding world, you do need to know that those exist. I just wouldn't add them for a while. I mean, frankly, I don't really use them unless my partners use them. Then I know what they're doing, but I rarely would use one of those myself, because 3 no trump is just, to me, a better place to be. Okay, let's talk about Jacobi transfers first. Jacoby transfers. A transfer is where we're going to make our partner bid a suit. And the reason we do this is that when partner has opened one no trump, they have a pretty strong hand. They have about 16 points. They have well more than their fair share of 10 points, which is the regular hand. They've got 16 points. So in general, they are the bigger hand. We prefer that the bigger hand stay concealed. So that's why we make transfers. Transfers used to not be a thing if partner bid one no trump and I had, 13 points and I had 6 hearts. I would know we should play 4 hearts. So I would just bid 4 hearts. Okay, one no trump, 4 hearts. That's like more than 10 points and 6 cards in a major suit. I know partner's got at least 2. We've got the 8 card fit. We've got more than 10 points. He's got 16. So we just belong in 4 hearts. I know that. And years ago, we would have just bid that. But the problem with that is that my smaller hand, the heart hand, is going to be concealed. If I bid hearts first, I'm going to be the declarer. The bigger hand, the 16-point hand, is going to be down on the board as the dummy. That's what we're trying to avoid. So that's why we use transfers. So what we do is if we have at least 5 cards in a major suit, the responder bids the suit below that suit. So if I have hearts, I'm going to bid diamonds, the suit right below it. If I have spades, I'm going to bid hearts, the suit right below it. Partner then must bid the suit. Partner has no choice about it. Partner can't say to himself, I don't like hearts. I don't want to play hearts. I'm not going to bid hearts, even though they're telling me to bid hearts. I'm going to bid no trump instead. You cannot do that. This is a required bid. If you're playing Jacoby transfers, you must accept the transfer when partner makes it. So here are what the bids are. 2 diamonds, partner must bid 2 hearts. 2 hearts, partner must bid 2 spades. So it's going to go 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts. Or 1 no trump, 2 hearts, 2 spades. Partner must bid the suit I tell him to bid. Once he's done that, we can go on with the rest of the bidding about where we should be and how high we should be. But the first thing we do, if we have at least 5 of a suit, we always transfer partner. So if partner opens 1 no trump and you've got 5 cards in a major suit, transfer immediately. I don't care what else you have, transfer immediately. Now, depending on how many points you have and how many cards you have in the suit, depends on what you do next, okay? So here are your rebids. If you have less than 8 points, you're just going to pass. So it's going to go 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, pass. Partner's going to play 2 hearts. Partner may play 2 hearts with you having 0 points in your hand. The reason you do this is because 1 no trump is very difficult to make, especially if you don't have any points, because partner has no control over anything. So they're going to just take their top cards, and if they have running suits, they're going to take all those. So you have no control. So it's better for you to transfer partner into a major suit, even though if you only have 5, it may be just a 5-2 fit. Because partner, you might hit partner's doubleton. If he has a doubleton, you might hit it. But also, he might not have a doubleton, or the doubleton might be in another suit, in which case you would have a magic fit, you'd have at least 8. And if you have at least 6 in the suit, then you know you have 8 between you. But you do this transfer even with 5, okay? So with less than 8, you're going to transfer and then drop. That's what we call it. Transfer and drop your partner right there at the 2 level in the major suit. Another one that's easy to see is if you have game. So if you have game and you have at least 5 cards in the major suit, you transfer either to hearts or spades. Then if you've got 10 points or more, you belong in game. So your next bid needs to be game. And it will either be 3 no trump or 4 of the major, depending on whether you had 5 cards or 6 cards in the suit, 6 or more. So if you had just 5 cards in the suit, the bidding would go 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 3 no trump. I have 10 or more points, but I have 5 and only 5 hearts. So I bid the game, telling partner we're at game level, but I only had 5 hearts. If partner had at least 3 hearts themselves, their next bid will be 4 hearts because they will know your agreement is you prefer to play in a major suit if you know you have an 8-card fit. You've told him you have 5. His rule is for him to go on if he has 3 or more because he knows you have 8 at that point. If you have 10 points and you've got 6 in the major suit, then you just bid 4 of the major. So the bidding will go with these transfers: 1 no trump, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 no trump, or 4 spades. That's if I have 10 points. I'll either bid 3 no trump or 4 spades. 3 no trump, game, but just 5 in the suit. 4 spades, game, and 6 in the suit. It's just logical. If you don't have game, then the same principles apply, but you need to make an invitational bid. So rather than actually going to game, you go right below game, either with no trump or in the suit, depending on if you have 5 or 6. So in this case, the bidding would go 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 no trump. That's I just have 8 or 9 points. Or 3 hearts. I just have 8 or 9 points, but I have 6 hearts. So both of these are logical in that you bid game if you have 10 points or more, and you bid game in no trump with just 5. You bid game in the suit with 6. And remember, you've promised 5 from the get-go when you transfer. If you are at the invitational, instead of bidding the game, you bid below the game. You bid 2 no trump or 3 of the suit to show that you have 5 or 6. So it's very logical what you're doing, if you understand the concept of what's behind this. It's very logical. With 8 points or less, you transfer and then just pass. With 10 points or more, you transfer and then bid game. No trump with just 5 or the suit with 6. And with invitational, you bid below game, no trump with just 5 or 3 of the suit with 6 or more. If you make the invitational bid by going to 2 or 3 of the in the suit, 2 no trump or 3 of the suit, that invitational response, then partner has to make that decision about, does he have a minimum hand 15 or does he have the maximum hand 17? If you make the invitational bid of 8 or 9 with 15 points, the no trump person passes. And with 17 points, the no trump person goes to game. That's what invitation means. With the minimum you pass, with the maximum you go. The only question is, what if you have 16? Well, if you have 16, then the no trump person has to decide, am I going to treat this like 15 or am I going to treat it like 17? That's the only decision the no trump person gets to make. So transfers are really valuable. And what we are doing is transferring into a major suit when we are pretty sure that we can play in the major suit. And that's because we have at least 5 of them. If we have at least 5, chances are, most times, partner will have 3. Occasionally not, and that's why we leave the invitational part open. Occasionally they won't. We may hit their doubleton, but the odds are that they're going to have 3 in the suit. So that's what transfers are. Now, we need to remember that transfers exist only over a 1 no trump bid. You can't transfer anywhere else in bidding. You can't actually, even the top players don't have any other transfers anywhere that I know of over anything except a no trump. Everybody transfers over no trump, but nobody transfers over any other kind of opening bid. They're only available over no trump. And the reason they're available over no trump is we have a good idea of the number of cards and the points the partner has in their hand. That's why as a responder, we can afford to transfer. All right. What if we don't have 5 of a major in our hand? We still would like to play in a major suit if we can. So if we have at least 4 cards in the major suit, we play the Stamen convention. Now, the transfer convention has been around since the 70s, okay? The Stamen convention has been around, I don't know when. My grandmother played the Stamen convention in the 60s and 50s. So Stamen has been around a long, long time. People that don't know much else about bridge, who have been playing social bridge all their lives and really don't know much about new bidding conventions, mostly play the Stamen convention. So you'll find people that do know Stamen. So Stamen is, you have 4 cards in a major suit, not 5. If you have 5, you're going to transfer. But 4 cards in a major suit, either 4 hearts or 4 spades or both, you're going to bid 2 clubs. 2 clubs is an artificial bid, and it says to partner, I have a 4-card major suit, and it asks the question, do you? Do you have a 4-card major suit, and what is it? So 2 clubs is asking a question. It's making a statement and asking a question. Now, because the answers to this could vary, we don't do the Stamen the way we do Jacobi transfers with less than 8 points. Because we don't know what the answers are, there's no point in pushing our partner up higher. Just leave partner alone. We don't know that we have a fit. So just leave partner alone at 1 no trump if you have less than 8 points. So to bid Stamen, you have to have 8 points. So what you're going to bid is 2 clubs. 2 clubs says, I have a 4-card major. Do you have a 4-card major? And then the no trump person just responds. The no trump person will say 2 diamonds. 2 diamonds says, I don't have a major suit. Forget it. No major suit. 2 heart response by the no trump person says, yes, I have a 4-card major suit, and I also may have a 4-card spade suit. I have a 4-card heart suit, and I may have a 4-card spade suit, but it promises 4 hearts. You could also have 4 spades. If the no trump person says 2 spades, that means, yes, I have 4 spades and I do not have 4 hearts. It denies hearts. It affirms spades. Okay. Once you hear partner's response to your statement convention, now you decide what to do. Okay. Logically. So if partner says 2 diamonds, no 4-card major suit, you either bid 2 no trump with 8 or 9, invitational, or 3 no trump with 10 or more. So partner doesn't have a fit. You don't have a 4-card major. You're fit. You don't have an 8-card fit for sure. So you're either going to bid 2 no trump to invite partner to game or 3 no trump to assure game. Or if partner bids the correct 4-card major, great. Now you've got a fit. If you wanted him to bid hearts and he did, show hearts and he did, or you wanted him to show spades and he did, great. Now you know you have a fit in the major suit. And so you should actually revalue your hand now as a dummy hand. So if you have a singleton or a void in your hand, you can now revalue it, counting it. You shouldn't before, but once you're going to be dummy, then you can do that. And you will either bid 3 or 4 of the major. So if you found a fit, it's gone 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, and that's your suit. You'll either bid 3 hearts or 4 hearts, depending on if you have 8 or 9 or 10 points, the invitational or the game. So if you find your fit, great. Bid the suit again, either invitational or at the game level. If they give the wrong 4-card major, that is not the one you're looking for, then you will either bid 2 no trump or 3 no trump, depending if you have 8 or 9 or the game. So with no 4-card, they tell you no 4-card major, or they tell you they've got the wrong 4-card major for you, you bid 2 no trump or 3 no trump next. If they tell you they do have the 4-card major you're looking for, you either bid 3 of the major or 4 of the major, depending on if you have 8 or 9, 10 or more points. So it's pretty straightforward. There is one little thing about this, and that is back to the situation where you have a 4-card major suit, but you may also have, a 4-card heart suit, but you may also have a 4-card spade suit. That is the no trump person may, okay? So the bidding could go 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 hearts by the no trump person, okay? And I go, oh, that's not my suit. Spades was my suit. So I bid 3 no trump. So that's 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 3 no trump. Hearts wasn't my suit. Then you hear the no trump person bid 4 spades. Well, how could he do that? Because we said he doesn't get to make any decisions. But you gave him the information he needed to make. Because when you bid 2 clubs, you said, I have a 4-card major suit. If he tells you he's got a 4-card heart suit and you say that's not it, it must be for a 4-card spade suit then. And if that's the case, and the no trump person also had a 4-card spade suit that he just couldn't tell you about, he can go to 4 spades. So whichever way, that's why you don't have to tell that you have both. If you have both, as the no trump responder to 2 clubs, you just mention the hearts first. If that's not the partner's suit, spades is, now you've identified the suit. So it's really kind of the no trump person in this case is going to be the one that knows which way to go, but they know which way to go based on information provided from you for your bidding at the Stamen Convention. So Stamen Convention is when we have a 4-card major suit, not a 5 or 6-card major suit. We're still looking to find the major suit. We can't find it. If you don't even have a 4-card major suit, that's when you just bid 2 no trump or 3 no trump, depending if you have 8 or 9 points or 10 or more. One other thing to think about in the Stamen Convention is, in general, we don't use Stamen with 4-3-3-3 distribution. And the reason we don't is because there is going to be no trumping value, okay? You are both too flat to be able to trump. But because you are 4-3-3-3 distribution, you have cards in every suit and your partner has cards in every suit. So because that's true, no trump is safer than we usually think of no trump. So don't bother to use Stamen with 4-3-3-3 distribution. Now, if you do forget this little rule and you do it anyway, that's not a big deal. It doesn't hurt. You may find a 4-card major fit. It won't hurt to play there, but you could play 3 no trump instead of trying to play 4 of a major suit. And there's not really a lot of advantage of playing 4 of the major suit. And you have to make one more trick. Down at the bottom of this handout page, there is a grid that kind of encapsulates all this. And so the first thing is, in the major suit column, looking down under that column, do you have 6 or more in the major suit? Do you have 5 and only 5 in the major suit? Do you have 4 in the major suit? Or do you have 3 or less in a major suit? And that depends on what you do. So if you have 6 or more in the major suit and you've got 0 to 7, you're going to transfer and then pass. With 8 or 9, you transfer and raise the suit that shows you have 6. And with 10 or more, you transfer and bid game in the suit that shows that you have 6 or more in the suit. So with 6 or more cards in the suit, you always bid the suit next, not no trump. Either 8 or 9 with you bid, just raise the suit. 10 or more, you go to game in the suit. With 5 and only 5, you will have transferred first. So with 0 to 7, you transfer and pass. 8 or 9, you transfer and then bid no trump. 10 or more, you transfer and bid 3 no trump. With 10 or more, because you know you have game. If you have 4 cards and only 4 cards in a major suit, with 0 to 7, you're going to pass, because remember, Stamen, because we've got to ask questions and we don't know what we're going to wind up with, we don't move off the 1 level. We let partner play 1 no trump. So pass with 0 to 7 if you don't have 5 or more in a suit. 4 or less, just pass with 0 to 8. But with 8 or 9 points or 10 or more points, either one, you'll bid Stamen. And whatever partner says, if he names your suit or if he doesn't name your suit or he doesn't have a suit, with 8 or 9, you'll bid below the suit. With 10 or more, you'll bid game. And then with 3 or fewer cards in the suit, in a major suit, you just pass with 0 to 7, 2 no trump with 8 or 9, 3 no trump with 10 or more. Okay, I hoped that helped you see how no trump fits together and get some idea of why the no trump responses exist the way they do. But no trump to me is, I not only does it make sense that we want to bid one no trump as an opening bidder, if you bid one no trump, because the statement convention and transfers are so strong to help you identify exactly where you need to be, it's another reason to kind of try to bid one no trump if you at all can. It's one of the reasons why I don't care if I have a 5 card major in my hand. I'd rather partner be able to use these conventions to get us to the right place. That's more important than me notifying them I have a 5 card major, is letting them use these other devices to get us to the place that we need to be. Let them be in charge. So it's those are very important, and the responses to it are very important. Okay, guys, that is it for our no trump discussion. Our next class this week on Friday is going to be on competitive bidding, which is bidding where the opponents and the opponents are both bidding, because it changes the rules that we discussed in the first week when no opponents were bidding, just the basic rules of bidding. When somebody else enters the auction, it's not on your team, it changes the bidding. So that's what we're going to discuss next week. All right, that's it for today. We'll see everybody next Friday.